Legacy government insists on proper documentation for housing transactions. Federal Road Safety Corps appeals to motorists to avoid overloading. Arrests 100 traffic violators in FCT. On the front, United States President condemns Russian brutality after deadly Ukraine strikes. And in sports, Rivers United coach holds first training session in preparation for 2024-2025 season. And now the details. I am Mike James. In a bid to eradicate fraud in transfer of home ownership and protect the interest of allottees in case of loss of home ownership document, the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Housing, Bala Otoriola, has advised members of the public that henceforth all applications relating to transfer of home ownership are to be accompanied with evidence of home ownership, such conduct result, and a valid means of identification in cases of loss of home ownership document. Otoriola unveiled this during a strategic management meeting in Alausa. According to him, an allottee who applies for transfer of ownership must accompany his or her application with letter of allocation, payment receipt, and a valid means of identification to be submitted to the Office of the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Housing. He said the move is to ascertain the genuineness of claims of ownership by applicants for proper transfer, which has become necessary in view of the increased incidence of false claims uncovered by the ministry. Otoriola warned that the ministry will not process any application that does not include the aforementioned documents. Legacy government has concluded arrangements to remove the critically distressed building of Our Lady Queen of Peace Catholic Church in the Gbagada area of Lagos for failing structural integrity test and showing visible signs of distress. Speaking on the developments, the special advisor to the Lagos State Governor on Enterprise, Geographical Information System (EGIS), Olajide Babatunde, said this has become expedient because the building has failed the structural integrity test and is showing visible signs of distress. Babatunde said this while on a routine inspection of the church building, which had been sealed by the State Building Control Agency to ensure that agreements with the church are strictly adhered. The special advisor reiterated the state's commitment to safeguarding the lives and properties of the citizenry through consistent monitoring, enforcement, and identification of illegal, distressed, and non-conforming structures. He enjoined Lagosians to report all forms of illegality in their locality to any of the 57 offices of LASCA spread across the state for appropriate action. Lagos State government is set to hold Afro Police Lagos 2024, a collaborative effort between the Ministry of Tourism, Art and Culture, and Q Dance Center. Commissioner for Tourism, Art and Culture, Toke Benson Awika, stated that the event seeks to celebrate creativity, innovation, and community, transforming Lagos into a vibrant hub of artistic and technological excellence. Benton Aweka said Afro Police Lagos 2024, scheduled to take place towards the end of October through to early November 2024, will transform Oniko's main street, JK Randu Road, into a lively art and tech assembly. She noted that the 9-day festival will culminate in a curated marketplace over the weekend, where participants will showcase the local and international innovations and works. Navy ship NNS Delta has uncovered 2 illegal refining sites in the coastal communities of Ajasolo and Owukuku in the Warri South local government area of Delta State. The Joint Task Force, codenamed Operation Delta Safe, also announced the arrest of 4 suspects and the recovery of 48,000 liters of stolen crude oil in Rivers State. Commander NNS Delta Abba Mushi who was represented by the base operations officer Patrick Ali, led naval personnel to the illegal site where 5 metallic storage tanks, 4 ovens and 5 dugout pits were uncovered. Addressing journalists shortly after, Musin made it known that a suspect was apprehended with a wooden boat while crude oil well heads were also vandalized. He warned oil thieves and other criminals operating in the maritime space to desist or face the full wrath of the law. And now to the rest of the stories. The Federal Road Safety Corps has appealed to motorists to avoid overloading, as the Corps would not tolerate those who dent the country's image. FCT Sector Commander Mutar Kori stated this during the arrest of fewer than 100 traffic offenders in the last 1 week during the ongoing Operation Green Light Enforcement in the city centre. Kori lamented that most motorists, especially commercial drivers, have made it a habit to disregard traffic lights. He warned that the Corps would continue to sanction traffic offenders regardless of their status to ensure sanity on the roads. Tory also addressed the issue of indiscriminate parking by commercial drivers, saying that the Corps had increased the mobility of patrol personnel to check indiscriminate parking by commercial drivers, saying that the Corps had increased the mobility of patrol personnel to check the excesses of road users. And the Nigerian Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, has blamed resurfacing of fuel queues in some parts of the country on the disruption of ship-to-ship STS transfer of premium motor spirits, PMS, also known as petrol, between mother vessel and daughter vessels, resulting from recent thunderstorms. Company's Chief Corporate Communications Officer Olufemi Shone said the adverse weather condition has also affected berthing at jetties, truckload out and transportation of products to filling stations, disrupting station supply logistics. According to reports, the scarcity has pushed prices to a high as 900 naira per litre, with private depot owners reported to have hiked the ex-depot price from 630 naira to 720 naira per litre. While responding to the development, Shone also said that due to flammability of petroleum products and in compliance with the Nigerian Meteorological Agency (NIMET) regulations, it was impossible to load petrol during rainstorms and lightning. Shone said NNPC Limited is working with relevant stakeholders to resolve the logistics challenges and restore a seamless supply of petrol to affected areas. And over to foreign news, United States President Joe Biden has condemned the wave of Russian missile strikes that killed at least 38 people in Ukraine as a horrific reminder of Russia's brutality as they vowed to strengthen Kyiv's air defenses. At least 190 were injured across the country, including some at a children's hospital in the capital, Kyiv. It comes as Biden prepares to host the NATO summit in Washington today. Biden said he will be welcoming Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky and other NATO leaders. The summit will focus on defense and deterrence in the context of the Russian invasion of Ukraine. And in sports news, Rivers United coach Finidi George has swung into action, taking charge of his first training session in Port Harcourt as the club begins preparations for the 2024-25 season. The 53-year-old was appointed last week Wednesday following his resignation as the head coach of the Super Eagles last month. In the training photos shared, Finidi was spotted dishing instructions to the players, while he was also seen discussing with his technical crew, including coach Evans Ogay, who led the team until the end of last season. Finidi, who signed a 2-year deal with the club, has revealed that his immediate target is to return the team to the continent next season. Rivers United played in a CAF Confederation Cup last season but could not go past the quarter-final stage. They also finished 8th in the Nigeria Professional Football League with 53 points. And that was our news at 12, but just before we go, carry out proper and adequate checks on your vehicles before setting out. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms: X Traffic Radio 961, Facebook Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, Instagram Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Subscribe and watch our news and programs live on YouTube. Traffic Radio 961. You can also visit our website at www.trafficradio961.ng. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration provided 61,000 units of single-door composite furniture for secondary schools? You can always get more details on the Legacy Government website. And to end the news, here are the highlights of the major stories. As part of efforts to get more residents to enroll for the Ilere Course scheme, the Lagos State Health Management Agency LASHMA and the Lagos State Residents Registration Agency LASRA have collaborated to ease the registration process for the state's social health insurance. The Federal Road Safety Corps has appealed to motorists to avoid overloading, as the Corps would not tolerate those who dent the country's image. We also told you that United States President Joe Biden has condemned the wave of Russian missile strikes that killed at least 38 people in Ukraine as a horrific reminder of Russia's brutality as a vow to strengthen Kyiv's air defenses. And in sports, Rivers United coach Finidi George has swung into action, taking charge of his first training session in Port Harcourt as the club begin preparations for the 2024-25 season. And for contact with the newsroom, send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. That ends the news broadcast compiled by Zainab Adebeshi. Thank you for listening, Lagos. My name is Mike James. Beautiful afternoon to you.